Hello and welcome back to the English Tea Podcast. This is where we talk about interesting things in English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. Today, we're talking about a question many English learners ask. Accent versus fluency. Which one matters more? It's a really interesting point because people often worry a lot about their accent.
That's right, Alex. Some people try very hard to sound like a native English speaker. Others just want to speak clearly and naturally, no matter their accent. So, which one is more important for good communication?
Good question. We'll look at why having a perfect accent might be less important than you think. And we'll talk about what fluency really means and why it might be your best friend in English.
So make another cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's start this conversation about accents and fluency. What do you think? What is fluency? Why it's key?
Alex, let's start with fluency. Many people think fluency means speaking very fast or never making mistakes. But that's not exactly right, is it?
Not at all, Alex. For me, fluency means being able to communicate your ideas easily and effectively. It means you can have a conversation without too many long pauses. You can understand others, and they can understand you. You can express yourself clearly, even if you make small grammar mistakes or use simple words. It's about getting your message across.
Exactly. Think of it like this. If you can order food, ask for directions, share your opinion, or explain a problem, you are probably fluent enough. You might not use perfect English, but you can use the language.
And what's great about focusing on fluency is that it builds confidence. When you see that people understand you, even with your accents or a few mistakes, you feel more comfortable speaking. This makes you want to speak more, and that's how you truly improve.
So, fluency is about connection and understanding. It's about making sure your ideas travel from your mind to the listener's mind without too much trouble.
Understanding accent. Does it really matter? Now, Sarah, let's talk about accent. Many learners feel a lot of pressure to sound like a native English speaker, but how important is it to change your accent?
In my opinion, and for most communication, your accent is less important than clarity. What matters most is being understandable. If people can understand what you are saying, then your accent is perfectly fine. Everyone has an accent, even native speakers. People from London sound different from people from Scotland, and people from New York sound different from people from Texas.
That's a great point. Your accent is often part of your identity and where you come from. It can be a beautiful part of who you are. Trying to completely remove it can be very difficult and might not be worth the effort if your goal is just good communication.
Sometimes, a strong accent can make it hard for others to understand you. In that case, working on pronunciation is helpful, but this is different from trying to remove your accent completely. It's about making sure your sounds are clear enough so listeners don't have to guess what you mean.
So the goal isn't to sound like someone else, but to ensure your English is clear. The real winner, clarity. So, Sarah, if we have to choose between accents and fluency, what's the main takeaway for our listeners? The real winner here is clarity, which comes mostly from fluency. If you are fluent, you can communicate well. If your accent is clear enough for people to understand you, that's what truly matters. People prefer to understand someone easily, even if they have an accent, rather than listening to someone with a perfect accent who pauses a lot or struggles to find words.
Think about doctors, scientists, or business people from all over the world. They communicate successfully every day in English with many different accents. Their common ground is not a shared accent, but shared understanding and clear communication.
Focusing too much on getting a perfect accent can actually make you less fluent. You might become afraid to speak because you're worried about making mistakes with sounds. This can slow down your progress.
Instead, focus your energy on learning new vocabulary, practicing common phrases, understanding grammar rules, speaking as much as you can, even if you make mistakes, and, most importantly, making sure your pronunciation is clear enough.
If people tell you they sometimes can't understand a specific word or sound, then practice that sound. But don't feel you need to change your whole voice. Final thoughts and encouragement.
So, Sarah, what's our final message for our listeners about their English journey?
My advice is to prioritize fluency and clarity over accent. Celebrate your progress in speaking more easily and clearly. Don't let the idea of a perfect accent stop you from practicing and communicating.
Yes, your unique accent tells a story about you. As long as you're understood, it's a part of your charm. The goal is to connect with people and share your ideas, not to sound like someone you're not.
So keep practicing your English, focus on speaking clearly, and feel proud of how far you've come. The world needs to hear your ideas in your own voice. Wrapping up our brew.
What a great discussion today, Sarah. It's clear that focusing on being fluent and clear in your English is much more helpful than worrying too much about your accent.
Absolutely, Alex. Communication is about being understood. Your unique voice and perspective are valuable.
Thank you for joining us on the English Tea podcast today. We hope this talk helps you feel more confident about your English speaking. You can find more of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and remember that your voice is special. Cheers!